As the previous two on-point columns chronicle, a Joe Biden-Kamala Harris administration likely would forge an enlightened trade policy, the tools of which would be consensus and integrity, and the goals for which would be peace and sustainability. Now let's consider what this policy would mean for India. From circumstantial evidence plus the audacity of hope, the most succinct answer is change. America's approach to India will not change under a second Trump-Pence administration. But for two reasons, conceptualizing trade as an amalgam of business contracts will not satisfy Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. First, pragmatically, that approach has proven fruitless. Despite 7 months of Indo-US negotiations since February 2020, there's no signed trade agreement. Second, culturally, there's the Kamala factor. She's likely to be more empathetic to India's concerns without compromising America's core trade interests. Assuming a Biden-Harris administration rebuilds the traditional American bipartisan consensus in favor of trade liberalization, India can look forward to a balanced discussion of all of its concerns. India can expect also an honest discussion about an American problem that affects Indians. Which U.S. industries can be saved through WTO compliance support, and which ones are candidates for orderly contraction through selected safeguards. In this discourse, the risk that India suffers the false accusation of causing rust in American industry is reduced. But honesty will also mean a Biden-Harris administration will articulate its discomfort with powerful, favored local monopolies that ring-fence India's market. To secure peace, it's inconceivable a Biden-Harris administration would regard India as a national security threat. Hence, no more actual or threatened use against India of Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act of 1962. That's the statute that has bedeviled Indian steel and aluminum producer exporters and put India's auto and auto product companies on edge. Meanwhile, a Biden-Harris administration will be under enormous pressure to rejoin the Trans-Pacific Partnership. Vice President Biden is well aware of the China containment benefits of this FTA. Biden and his running mate also appreciate that the Trump administration's strategy of imposing 4 waves of tariffs on Chinese origin merchandise has not fundamentally altered China's approach to commerce. So India can expect a Biden-Harris administration to call its number in America's strategic competition with China. Collaboratively, the United States and India can write comprehensible, executable obligations unburdened by Dickensian transition rules, and such obligations can sustain labor interests. Also in line with the Biden-Harris administration is Prime Minister Narendra Modi's engagement in the 2016 Paris Climate Agreement. Shepherding America back into that agreement is a certainty in a Biden-Harris administration. Nearly 60 years ago, John Kenneth Galbraith, working in the Kennedy administration, emerged as the most influential U.S. ambassador ever to serve in India. Ambassador Galbraith is credited as first identifying the possibility of an Indo-US strategic partnership. Over 1/2 century later, the key implication for India of an enlightened trade policy might be that this possibility is authentically realized.